For the moment, but picked up by Richmond under the basket, and he banked it in, and a foul is called. Diarra had a steal, but Richmond took it back. Got a lucky break as the ball bounced off the rim, and he laid it in. And now Kadari Richmond has a chance to cut the lead to 2.
To the line for the Red Storm, number 1, Kadari Richmond.
Richmond, who went 8 for 14 the first meeting, scored 17 points for St. John's. On the line, and he rims it in and out, rebounded by McNeely.
Great player, not a good free throw shooter.
11-8 UConn, 4 minutes and 10 seconds in. McNeely front court left. Huskies shoot with the basket with the St. John's benches. Deals right to Ball. Ball and a bounce to Johnson out front. Johnson fires to the cutting Caravan, and the ball taken away from him. Smith on a run out. Looks to drive it inside. He does. He fires it up. He missed it and knocked out of bounds off of St. John's and the UConn ball. So the under 16 timeout. 15:38 left in the first. UConn leads it 11-8 here at the Garden. UConn basketball presented in part by Johnson Brunetti, the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. You're listening to UConn Men's Hoop on Learfield, presented by Brown Payne, Darris, and Scott.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a First Alert is everything.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
The UConn Huskies are on the air. You're listening to UConn Men's Basketball, presented by Key Bank. Now back to our broadcast location.
Tuesday night, UConn men's hockey hosting the Terriers of Boston University. A huge Hockey East duel with NCAA implications. Joined Bob Joyce, Adam Giardino. They got the call from Toscano Family Ice Forum 645. Here along the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the VarsityNetwork.com.
Boy, what a great win for the Huskies on Friday night when they got that overtime score to knock off number 4 Maine. So Huskies on a roll, really turned things around in January, February, looking into March. UConn, meanwhile, from a men's basketball standpoint on a roll, they had 5 of their first 6 shots from the floor, and the one they missed was a solo ball 3-point attempt. They got the offensive rebound. Alex Caravan able to get it inside to Johnson, who scored a pair of early field goals to give UConn a 6-0 lead. So the Huskies shooting the lights out. St. John's, uncharacteristically, is 2 for 4 from 3-point range, and that's where they got 6 of their first 8 points. And the rebounding battle early on, there's not a lot of rebounds to get because teams have shot fairly well. 5-3 UConn.
First time they met, 68-62 win. St. John's at Gamble Pavilion. R.J. Lewis had 21 in that one. Even though he went 0 for 6 from 3, he's already got a 3-pointer in this one, so he took care of that. And UConn shot 39% from 3 that day. St. John's 4 for 21 from 3. And so it wasn't a great day for either team from distance.
That was the first game back for Liam McNeely, as he had 18 points, 11 rebounds. Did not shoot the ball well in that game, but he certainly kept UConn hanging around. It was solo ball that got them out to the 14-point lead in the first half.
All right, here's the full court pressure. They get it into McNeely, and McNeely saves it and gives to Caravan and back to Diarra. Diarra right to left into the front court between the rings. Starts to his right, keeps his dribble. He attacks Davion Smith. He missed the layup, though. Rebound Richmond. And now a foul is called in the backcourt. Let's see who it's on.
Ejiofor hit the deck.
It might be on Ejiofor for trying to trip a UConn player. I'm not sure.
We saw the pressure that time out of the timeout. That's one of the advantages UConn has had early on, with St. John's only shooting now 3 for 8 from the floor. They've not had a lot of opportunities to set the press up. That time UConn beat it, although McNeely almost fell out of bounds.
I want to correct myself. I think it might have been Samson Johnson that tripped Ejiofor. As he went down, he landed potentially on the back of his head. That could be a flagrant foul or intentional foul. We'll see as they're reviewing it right now. They got their legs tangled up. It's tough when a player is in that position that Sampson was in. And the key was the missed layup by DR as he got right to the rim that time.
For the second time in the game.
Yeah, I don't think it was intentional, but they might call it. You're discussing it right now. Rick Pitino's having his 2 cents. He's in there talking to Tommy Morrissey. The review monitor is right next to the St. John's bench here at Madison Square Garden. So it gives Rick Pitino a chance to get right in the middle of it, and that's what he's doing. Tommy Morrissey trying to explain it to him. Conference play this year, St. John's defensively, and Wayne mentioned it in his keys, excellent. They've held teams under 40% shooting, out-rebounded teams by 5, and allowed just about 63
After
points
review,
a game.
call on the floor stands, common foul on 35 blue.
So it is a common foul on Samson Johnson, not an intentional or a flagrant.
Well, Johnson got those 4 quick fouls, 2 in the first half and 2 early in the second half. He only played 3 minutes and 23 seconds in the first half of that game at Gamble on February the 7th. But it opened the door for Terrace Reed to come in for a 12-point, 15-rebound game. 5 of 7 shooting is 15 rebounds, equal to career high. And that's why UConn hung around before St. John's eventually put it away late.
All right, St. John's in home white, inbounds, and they come to the front court right. And R.J. Lewis spins to his right with a handoff to Kadari Richmond, back to his left. Richmond pulls up at the elbow, step back jumper, short, rebound Caravan. Outlet to Diarra. Diarra front court fires right. McNeely steps into a 3, long one, no good. And Diarra is fouled on the rebound action by R.J. Lewis. That's what you love about Hassan. He gets in the middle of everything on the boards, and he was able to draw a foul that time.
He got good position on the right side of the lane, and then eventually Lewis committed his first foul.
That was an NBA range 3 by McNeely that came up short. They get it into DR in front of the St. John's bench. And he's doubled for the moment, in trouble, gets it to Terrace Reed, who fires to Caravan, the ball taken away from him. On a run out, Scott to Ejiofor, and Ejiofor is fouled. And McNeely stepped in front of him, and so Zuby Ejiofor will go to the line. And he'll shoot 2.
Second foul, a second turnover, that is, on Caravan, who has not taken a shot yet. UConn 5 of 9, but no shots by the captain.
Ejiofor is one of the leaders in the league in rebounding, 3rd, over 8 a game as he goes to the line here. 11-8 UConn, 14:52 to go in the first half.
He leads them in free throws taken and free throws made, 66% shooting.
All right, so Ejiofor's free throws up and good. Cut the lead to 2. And so off the bench comes Sabine Ayo for St. John's as Ejiofor out of Garland, Texas gets another opportunity. That one is up and good. Second in the country in offensive rebounds, over 4 a game. Here comes the pressure by the Red Storm. They get it into McNeely in the right corner. He's double teamed, spins away to Caravan, and Caravan quickly to the front court left. Fires back to McNeely between the rings. McNeely keeps the dribble at the right hash and gives to Diarra. Diarra on the right sideline, guarded by Davon Smith. Back to McNeely on the left wing. McNeely drives inside. Nowhere to go. Back up front to Caravan. Here's Ball. Ball into the paint. And the ball is deflected off his knees and out of bounds. And it is St. John's ball.
Boy, that perimeter pressure defense by St. John's was intense on that possession. Huskies got it inside the 3-point circle once by McNeely, but he couldn't shoot, kicked it back out. And then the second time, Ball able to get it inside and didn't have a good look.
Yeah, you should be able to beat that off the dribble, though. I think it's possible. Let's see. They get it to Scott in the corner for three. No good. Rebounded by Richmond, and Richmond is fouled. I don't know. Richmond came along the baseline. He got the rebound. And now he has a chance at the free throw line to give St. John's the lead. Low scoring first half so far. 11-10 UConn, 14-17 left. Overall, all-time St. John's leads this series 38-34, 32-30 in Big East play. Huskies have won 15 on the road against St. John's in Big East play over the years. St. John's 25-15 overall.
Richmond 0 for 1 from the line in this game, 55% on the year, but he came in hitting 8 of his last 9 in the prior 3 games.
Richmond, one of the best in the Big East field goal-wise, as he makes the first free throw. He's over 50%. That's 4th in the league. We're tied at 11 now. Davon Smith comes out, and Simeon Wilshire will come in, the sophomore guard from Plainfield, New Jersey. Went to Roussel Catholic. And the free throw is good by Richmond, and it's a 12-11 lead for the Red Storm.
First St. John's lead, 6-0 run.
And UConn throws it away. Caravan on the baseline, threw it to McNeely, and out of his reach, and a turnover.
5 turnovers already on the Huskies, who had 22 the first time these teams played, and the last couple have been on the pressure.
All right, Caravan comes out here. Ahmad Noel just came in the game, and also Jalen Stewart has come in as St. John's going to inbound the ball to the right on the baseline cross from the UConn bench. And they get it in for a baseline jumper, and a foul is called on Stewart, and the ball goes in from 12 feet away by Aaron Scott. And so St. John's extends their lead to 14-11. I don't know if that was a flop or not, but Scott ended up on the floor as if he got fouled. Let's see. No, that was a flop right in front of James Breeding. He was going down to the floor after he let the ball go. He didn't get hit. That's a surprise. James Breeding, a veteran official. And the free throw's up and good. St. John's their biggest lead, 15-11. Full court pressure. Jalen Stewart gets it in to Ahmad Noel. Noel in the right corner, doubled for the moment, ahead to Stewart. Stewart back to Noel, and across the timeline they come. 22 to shoot. Here's Noel. Lost it, regains it, attacks inside, and he is fouled. Outside on the perimeter that time by St. John's. I think it's on Simeon Wilshire.
Yeah, I think it is too.
That's his first.
Because he was playing that really tight ball pressure outside the three-point circle, and a good crossover dribble by Noel got by him, and once he got by him, Wilshire fouled him, which probably saved a layup.
I think you can do that. I do. They're overplaying everything. They inbound to Noel between the rings, front court left. Right-hand dribble. And Ahmad fires it right to McNeely at the right hash. Back out front to Terrace Reed. Spins it over to Ball for 3, and Ball no good up the back rim. Rebounded by Terrace Reed. He puts it in left-handed, and he's fouled. So Terrace Reed, the Monaco Ford Championship drive. Aiden Mahaney drives the Monaco Ford. You can too. Visit MonacoFord.com for current offers. So Terrace Reed, a chance for a three-point play, and that is a momentum changer because St. John's was tying UConn's offense up.
Coach Dan Hurley said yesterday that he needs Terrace Reed to show up with urgency. I would say that offensive rebound coming down the left side of the hoop has some major urgency as he draws the foul. Second foul on Wilshire, both in about 10 seconds.
All right, Reed's free throws up and good. And UConn back within 1, 15-14. 13:40 left in the first half.
Ended a 9-0 St. John's run.
Davon Smith across the timeline left to right. Gives it up to Wilshire. They spin it down low and a backdoor cut. And a layup by the Red Storm as they got one from Abin Ayo. His ball got beat. And Solo looking to get it in. He gets it into McNeely. McNeely cross to Ball and into the front court left. Back to McNeely. And McNeely guarded by Abin Ayo. Backs him in. Tries to drive by him. Kicks it out front to Noel. Noel puts it on the floor at the right wing. Down to 12. Starts to his left. Gives it up to Ball. Ball, crossover. He's doubled. He had a man open. He lost it. He just threw it away. Here's Davon Smith, and a jumper by Scott. Airballed it. Rebound by Bean Io. Picked up by Jalen Stewart. Ahead to Ball. Solo's got to be tough with the ball. He has it in the front court left, and he hands it off to Noel. Noel on the right sideline, guarded by Smith, who bumps him with the chest. Could have been a foul, no foul. Now McNeely on the left sideline. The ball tipped off his leg and out of bounds. And what do we have here? Ron Groover hasn't made a call yet. Now he has. Took a while. Good defensive play by Kadari Richmond that time as McNeely had the ball in front of him. Got it tipped away.
7 turnovers. Some of those have come in the full court pressure, and some have been in this extreme pressure in the half court defense.
Well, it's active hands, too. You're going to make things happen if you were able to get your hands on it. Iwuchukwu comes in. Vince, the junior center out of Nigeria.
He's been bothered by a concussion, but he's on the court.
They work it over to Bean Io. They're in a weave outside the arc. It's Davon Smith driving inside, and he threw it away. It'll be UConn ball. So a turnover by St. John's, number 3. And the Huskies will inbound in the corner. Caravan's back in the ball game. Across from their own bench in the back court. Caravan looking to inbound the ball. And Caravan gets it into Solo. And Solo across the timeline, hands over to Noel. Noel front court left with a left-hand dribble guarded by Davon Smith. Now he starts to his right off a screen by Caravan. Now another screen from Stewart. He had him. He didn't get it to him. It's picked off by Reed. Reed missed the shot, and he put it in on a second opportunity. Terrace Reed, good perseverance that time. 17-16, St. John's. Under 12 minutes to go in the first. Richmond isolated with Stewart. Gives it up to Lewis. Outside on the right wing, guarded by Caravan. Crossover, pull-up jumper, well short. Rebounded by Davon Smith, and he lays it in. That can't happen. UConn allowing baseline rebounds by the Red Storm, and they've got a couple of freebies down there. Caravan gets it into ball. 19-16, St. John's, 11:20 to go in the first. That's a sneaky way to get an offensive rebound, but St. John's been able to do it a couple times. Ball front court left on the right sideline at the hash. Starts to his left-hand dribble, fires it to Noel, down low to Reed. Reed lays it up and in. Nice feed by Ahmad Noel, and they got it to Reed in time, in tempo. 19-18 Red Storm, 11 minutes to go.
Reed scored the last 7 UConn points.
Now here's Davon Smith in some trouble. Gets it up to Abin Io, gets it back on the left hash in front of Dan Hurley. That puts it on the floor. Blow by Smith. Outside Kadari Richmond, line drive 3, no good. And a foul is called, and they say it's on UConn. And that's going to keep the ball in St. John's control as we go to the under 12-minute timeout. 10:45 to go in the first half. UConn trailing 19-18 here at Madison Square Garden. If you're looking for better banking, huddle up with Dime Bank, 14 convenient locations in Connecticut and Rhode Island. Dime Bank Community Banking lives here. You're listening to UConn Men's Hoop on Learfield. It's presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Fight on, Connecticut. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Hey, so what's a great way to spread awareness that driving high is illegal everywhere? A catchy song, of course.
You can run, but you can't drive high.
Friendly reminder, don't drive high. If you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
UConn Basketball, presented in part by Orthopedic Associates of Hartford. Get back on the field or just back in life with confidence. Make your move at OAHCT.com. On the season, UConn, Wayne's got 230 three-point makes. St. John's only 165, yet they have 2 this afternoon, and UConn only 1.
Yeah, they came early in the game as St. John's is number 270 in the nation in three-point attempts and number 327 out of 355 teams in the country in three-point makes. That's not their bread and butter. Bread and butter is points in the paint, which, by the way, right now is 14-6 UConn. Huskies have gotten a couple of layups, including the first hoop of the game by Liam McNeely on a steal by Hassan Diarra. So points in the paint have been a big episode for a big advantage for UConn so far. And the second chance point so important in this game because of how effective St. John's is at offensive rebounding. And right now it's 7 apiece. The overall rebounding is 9-7 UConn. Huskies have 3 offensive rebounds and St. John's has 5. Of course, Huskies have shot better, 57%, 8 of 14. Not as many offensive rebounds to get. That foul before the timeout was by Terrace Reed. So now each of UConn's bigs have 1 foul as they show Spike Lee on the big screen.
St. John's, UConn, coming in here on the road, 6-3, and their 3 road losses have been by a total of 7 points. So they've been in a lot of close games this year. Here they are again, trailing 19-18, 10:45 to go in the first half.
Aiden Mahaney in the game for UConn now.
Mahaney, Noel in the backcourt. I don't think we've seen that combo. Jalen Stewart, Terrace Reed, Alex Caravan for the Huskies. As St. John's inbounds from the right in the front court. They get it into Lewis. He's guarded by Mahaney for the moment. And now they scoop it over to Kadari Richmond, top of the arc. Fires it left to Lewis. Guarded by Stewart. They pound it down low to Iwuchukwu. And he traveled with it. And that's turnover number 4 by the Red Storm.
Good post defense by Jalen Stewart that time, forcing the turnover.
Full court pressure once again. Caravan looking to inbound the ball and tries to get it in, and he gets it in to Noel.
Defense is on Reed, not Stewart.
And Noel walks across the timeline, guarded by R.J. Lewis, who's battling a groin injury. They skip it over to Mahaney, left on a bounce to Caravan. Top of the arc, fires right to Noel. Noel starts back to his left. Nice pass down low to Caravan, who lays it in. He threaded the needle in our Dime of the Game, brought to you by Dime Bank. Community banking lives here.
His first shot of the game, Caravan.
All right, Lewis going one-on-one with Mahaney. Shoves him with the left shoulder. Trying to get a shot off. He spins inside, and the shot is blocked. Good help defense by Terrace Reed. And Mahaney fires left to Caravan, who lost the ball, regains it, has it stolen. Kadari Richmond has it in his hands. UConn leading 2019. Richmond tries to blow by Stewart. He steps inside and he lays it in, and he's fouled. Richmond is tough. When he wants to get to the basket, he will make his move. Alex Caravan with a careless turnover on the front court for the Huskies.
It's his 4th turnover already. UConn's got 8. He's got half of them. Richmond, of course, been a nemesis for UConn 4 years in a row.
St. John's leads at 21-20. Richmond goes to the line. He's got 6 to lead his team. And now on the free throw line, where St. John's is 5 of 6. They're not a great free throw shooting team, under 70%. But
first foul on Caravan.
Yeah, I just looked at the replay, Wayne. I don't know where the foul was, to be honest. Richmond makes the free throw. He's the guy that threw the elbow on Caravan, but Alex was called for it. So he makes the free throw, 22-20. UConn trying to get it in. Caravan having his trouble. Gets it into McNeely, and they steal it from McNeely. But a foul is called on St. John's, Kadari Richmond. And that for Richmond is his first. And they'll stick with the full court pressure. 22-20, St. John's. Yeah, he hacked him on the left wrist.
Richmond, their leading steals man, 54 on the year.
Caravan gets it into McNeely. McNeely in the front court to our left. Scoops and hands over to Noel. Noel on the left wing. Crossover to the basket. Puts it up, and he's fouled. So Noel will go to the line. He hadn't been there very much all year long. He's hardly played. He's only been in 13 games.
4 for 5 from the line, and he's been able to get some penetration. Had an assist earlier on a hoop by Caravan.
Don't know if Diarra is hurting or not, Wayne. He hasn't come back in the ball game, though, in the last several minutes as Ahmad misses the free throw off the back rim. Zubi Ejiofor comes back in to the game, and he replaces Iwuchukwu. 22-20, St. John's, 9.5 to go here in the first. And Noel misses the second one off the back rim. So the Huskies just 1 of 3 on the line. Richmond front court right, he gives to Lewis, top of the arc on the left wing. They work it to Ruben Prey. He's guarded by Caravan. Fires right to Richmond. Richmond pull-up 15-footer, in and out. Rebound, Ejiofor. Missed the layup. No, it went in. And he just took it away on the offensive board. And St. John's by 4, 24-20. Can't let that happen. Here is Noel, the front court left on the right sideline at the hash. Backs away with a right-hand dribble. Now he puts it on the floor and has it taken away by Richmond. Richmond, no, dribbles it out of bounds. You can't put the ball in front of the St. John's defenders because they have active hands, and Ahmad made the cardinal mistake right there. That's embarrassing for a point guard when that happens.
Diarra's on the bench because he got 2 fouls.
All right, Diarra with 2 has to sit. And UConn will inbound to our left, 8:50 to go. Noel comes out, and UConn goes with Ball in the backcourt along with Mahaney. Caravan Reed up front, and McNeely looking to inbound the ball. And let's go. He's having trouble. And what happened here? Did he call timeout? Or was there interference on the inbound? I think there might have been by St. John's for reaching over the baseline. You can't do that. And there's a warning given there.
So they changed the inbounder from McNeely to Mahaney.
UConn looking to get it in. And they get it into Caravan. Out front to Reed. Reed spins to the basket and throws it down. Nice move by Terrace Reed. A little fake handoff. And he rips one through. 24-22 St. John's. 8:40 to go in the first.
That whole right side of the lane wide open. He was able to drive and dunk.
And here is the Red Storms. Lewis puts it on the floor, picked up by Reed on a switch. They go down low. Ejiofor working on McNeely, trying to post him up. Spins inside, can't get a shot off. Now he kicks it outside. It's stolen by Ball. Solo Ball sprints to the front court. Keeps his dribble, fires to Caravan for 3. Caravan no good. Rebound by St. John's. Davon Smith. Smith front court right. Tries a little blow by, and he kicks it outside to Lewis. Lewis puts it on the floor. Crossover. Ball steals. Out of bounds it goes, and they say it's off of Solo Ball. With 8:01 to go in the first half.
Huskies now 1 of 5 from three-point range. Ball had the only make. He's 1 for 3. Caravan just missed his three-point attempt.
I tell you, turnabout's fair play. UConn defensively with their hands have been causing problems for the Red Storm. Smith comes out. He's limping a little bit. Davon Smith for St. John's. And Richmond will inbound to our right. And he gets it in for an Aaron Scott jumper. It's a 3-ball. And Scott, who's just a 28% three-point shooter, has St. John's third 3. Their biggest lead of the ball game, 27-22. There's Mahaney, front court right, keeps his dribble on the right hash, goes to his left hand. He had a man there. Caravan didn't get it to him. Here's McNeely for 3. Front rim no good. Rebound Reed, and Reed is just rocked. Oh, man, was he manhandled down there, and a foul called on St. John's. That'll be their 6th. And we go to the under 8-minute timeout. 7:36 to go. First half, 27-22 St. John's. They're trying to lose weight. Nothing works long term. Turn to the solution for weight loss. Awaken180weightloss.com. You're listening to UConn Men's Hoop on Learfield. presented by Brown Banderas and Scott.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Hey, Husky fans! Basketball season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UConn basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the UConn Huskies. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Need a little home makeover to get through the last few weeks of winter? Kohl's is having a big sale so you can give your home a reset. Plus, Kohl's Rewards members save an extra 15% on so much to refresh your space, like stylish decor, cozy pillows, convenient storage, and so much more. So hurry to Kohl's to snag your savings before the secret's out. Select styles. Kohl's Rewards 15% off coupon valid through March 2nd. Must be a Kohl's Rewards member. Exclusions apply. Visit a store or kohls.com for details.
Play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball is presented all season long by Key Bank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball.
McKee, Hundley, and Milford of Manchester, Genesis of Milford and Middletown Chevrolet. They're the home of the 1 million mile powertrain warranty for all new car sales. St. John's biggest lead, 27-22, 7:36 to go here in the first half at the Garden.
Terrace Reed's been the leader for UConn, coming off the bench with 9 points on 4 for 5 shooting. Had a solid game against St. John's at Gamble back on February 7th. Shot 5 for 7, had 12 points and equal a career high with 15 rebounds. And seems like if he's not scoring, nobody for UConn's been scoring of late. After he had that run for UConn of 4 straight scoring opportunities, UConn missed 2 consecutive threes after that. So the threes are not dropping. That's hurting UConn. They didn't shoot well from 3 the first time these teams played, as they were 4 for 19 in that game. 3 of those by Solo Ball, who did all of his scoring in the first 12 minutes before he suffered a hand injury that really affected his shooting the rest of the game. Ball with 3 points. Those came early on a three-pointer, while UConn now shooting 10 of 18, 56% from the floor, and St. John's is 43%. But they've been dirt dogs inside. UConn has out-rebounded them 11-10, but St. John's has 6 offensive rebounds, now 9 second-chance points. Huskies 4 offensive rebounds, 7 second-chance points. Turnovers effective for both teams. UConn with 8 and St. John's with 5. Huskies had 22 turnovers the first time these teams played at Gamble on the night when they raised Ben Gordon's number 4 to the rafters of the Huskies of Honor.
UConn 9 of 12 from 2-point range in the game, which tells you they can get to the rim, get in the paint. They're having a lot of success. Well, they haven't been able to score from outside the arc.
It speaks to what you've indicated a couple of times, Mike. There's so much ball pressure on the perimeter. You can get by that initial line of defense. A lot of times the lane is open, and they've gotten some layups off those.
McNeely to our left across from the St. John's bench will inbound the ball. Reed, Ball, Caravan, along with Mahaney. Here's McNeely. Down low to Reed. They double team him. He spins inside, and he missed the reverse layup. Could have gone up and dunked it, but he got out of balance a little bit. Couldn't get it to go. Here's St. John's front court left. It's Smith out on the right wing on a bounce for a long 3. It's good by St. John's. That's their 4th of the ball game. Iapolis made 1. He doesn't make a lot, plays very little, but St. John's their biggest lead, 30-22 with 7 minutes to go in the first. Here's Mahaney on a blow-by, stays with it, trying to bank it up, he missed it, and a rebound by Scott. UConn had only 1 man on the glass that time. Davon Smith bounces it down low to Ejiofor. He faces up on Reed, he spins on him, he goes up, and a late call on that one as Reed is called for the foul. Ejiofor had missed the shot already, was on the floor. So St. John's goes to the line. They try to convert here. They've shot it well there, 6 of 7. And they're 4 of 9 from 3, hence the 8-point lead.
St. John's doesn't get much off their bench, but they brought in the 6'4 freshman guard, Lefteris Leotopoulos, who had only been 3 for 11 on the season from 3 and had missed 5 of the last 6, got the open look that time, so he winds up contributing.
It's the kind of season it's been for the Red Storm. They've gone 16-0 at home, 7-0 in this building where they're averaging over 16,000 fans. As the first free throw by Ejiofor is good. Long time ago, prior to my UConn days, when I was in New York, I did St. John's basketball, and at the time the team had a trouble drawing 9,000 here, so the Patino effect is certainly working.
12-2 run for St. John's now.
UConn down by 9. Reed comes out. Ejiofor makes both free throws. So UConn trails by double digits, 32-22.
Guys who aren't good free throw shooters are making them this afternoon.
All right, here's Caravan on the inbound of Diarra. Gives it back to Hassan. Hassan playing with 2 fouls now, with 6.5 to go in the first half. Skips it left to Samson Johnson. They overplay everybody. McNeely starts right. They switch everything. That's what St. John's does well. And McNeely has to fire it right to Diarra. Jabs with his right foot. Tries to attack inside. Kicks to Caravan. Caravan to the paint. The open man is ball for 3 and in and out. Rebound Lewis. Lewis front court right. Puts it on the floor. Picked up on a switch by Samson Johnson. He throws it down low to Ejiofor. Double for the moment. They work the perimeter. And Scott for 3. No good short. Loose ball. Scott dives on it. And the possession error will be St. John's. And a lucky bounce that time for the Red Storm. Off a miss by Scott, which was way short. So it'll be St. John's basketball along the right baseline, and they'll have 20 seconds.
Huskies now 1 of 7 from 3. That was a good look, a kick-out pass by Caravan to the open ball. Many of these missed 3-point shots that UConn has had have been open looks.
Yeah, but they are closing fast. St. John's defense is quick on the perimeter. They do close. You might look like you're open, and then a man is on top of you. They give it to Ejiofor, top of the key, guarded by Johnson. Back to Davon Smith, left wing. He'll try a 3, and he hits. So the Red Storm, with a lot of confidence, 5 of 11 from outside the arc, leading 35-22.
That's an 11-0 run.
Here is Diarra across the timeline. They want a timeout. And they do get it. UConn's got to regroup here. They're down 13 with 5.5 to go. But St. John's rarely shoots like this from the outside. 5 of 11 from three-point range. And that can really add up as the 32nd timeout as we keep it here. UConn, we've talked about it. They've been down at halftime 11 times this year. Come back to win 6 times, which is almost unheard of. They're right now with 5.5 to go. They are down 35-22.
Huskies started the game red hot from the floor. 5 of the first 6 shots went in for UConn, including the only 3 they've got by solo ball. And since that time, they are 5 of 15. They've missed their last 5 shots from the floor, and of that 0 for 5 run shooting, 3 of those are threes. Huskies really hurt themselves with poor 3-point shooting. They're doing other things fairly well in this game, including rebounding, although now St. John's has a 14-11 rebounding edge. That was an advantage for UConn early in the game, so a lot of things not working as well now as it did earlier in the game.
UConn hasn't scored in 3 minutes, 12 seconds. 0 for their last 5. You talked about that 11-0 run. It's 16-2 over the last 4 minutes and 10 seconds. And, you know, turnovers have been an issue for UConn lately. They've got 8 of them. But, Wayne, I just looked at some replays on Fox Television. 4 of them at least were unforced. It was UConn just careless with the basketball. Here is Johnson on a handoff to Diarra, front court left. Hassan puts it on the floor, spins in traffic, puts up a floater, and banked it in. Oh, what a shot from 12 feet away by Diarra. And UConn trails 35-24. Red Storm, front court left. High post handoff to Aaron Scott, the senior forward. Gives it back up to Ejiofor in the right wing. Trying to get it down to Lewis, who's camped out in the lane. They go alley-oop to Lewis, who makes the catch. He put it up, he missed it. Loose ball. It comes down to St. John's. Smith fires a three, no good. Finally, Diarra rebounds it. The three came off the right sideline. Here come the Huskies. Down by 11. Diarra on the right wing. Trying to blow by his man off the dribble. Fires it left to Ball. Ball starts left. Good pick up on a switch. Ball inside, and he is fouled. He tried to go up and shoot. And that's going to put him on the line. That's the 7th foul by St. John's in the first half with 4:37 to go. Yeah, he got fouled 2 times. Rick Pitino saying he traveled, but there's a reason for that.
That was Leotopoulos, who had that three a moment ago, picking up his first foul on the drive by Solo Ball.
Long time ago, in this building, the pro team, the Knicks, used to foul people constantly, figuring that the officials wouldn't blow every whistle, and they parlayed that in the 90s to finals appearances and Eastern Conference championships. And St. John's a little bit like that too. They are bumping, hipping, giving hip checks, reaching in, and the officials are not going to be blowing whistles 24/7 in that circumstance. Ball makes the first free throw. And Rick Pitino, a New Yorker himself, was well aware of that. It was right after Pitino left, as a matter of fact, when Riley took over. Nick started playing that way. Solo, another chance here on the line. He's got 4 points. And that one rims in off the back rim and in. 35-26, St. John's, 4.5 to go. Davon Smith across the timeline, gives it up to Scott on the bounce, edge of floor. On a handoff, Smith, he tried to go alley-oop, but he spins it over to Lewis for three. And he hits a three. And a foul is called. Let's see, what do we have? Was that after the play? It might have been. It might be on Samson Johnson. I think it is. They're going to review it for some reason.
Looks like he knocked Ejiofor down in the lane, away from the shot.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the elbows got up. Ejiofor flopped. A lot of contact there, but that should not be anything more than a common foul.
But if it's on Johnson, that would be his second. Each of his fouls were somewhat controversial.
38-26. Terrace Reed's going to check in anyway. As we're into the timeout, I guess the under 4-minute timeout they're going to take right here. 4:22 to go. UConn trailing 38-26. UConn with 9 team fouls, 7 against St. John's. When you're out of town and want to keep up with live college sports, download the free Varsity Network app, available for both Apple and Android. Listen to college sports live with the free Varsity Network app. Timeout has been called. You're listening to UConn men's basketball on Learfield. Huskies trailing by 12 here at the break. Before the break, 4:22 to go. 38-26. It's presented by Brown Paint Harrison Scott.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed mold, mildew, bowing walls, or water in your basement? I hope not, but if you have, your basement is losing the war against groundwater. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your basement and stabilize your walls. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks, the preferred basement waterproofing company of UConn Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
The exclusive home of the Huskies. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
UConn Basketball brought to you by the Connecticut Lottery. Play the limited edition UConn Championship scratch ticket today. Overall odds 3.54. Must be 18 or older. Problem gambling helpline. Call 888-789-7777. Hassan Diarra got the start. He's been battling various injuries for UConn, but played pretty well here this afternoon in his 8 minutes with 4 points.
St. John's had a 9-0 run and then later an 11-0 run, which for UConn opponents, that's the 7th time this year a double-figure scoring run, and 2 of those have been by St. John's. The other was the game at Gamble Pavilion. But Diarra was guarding Kadari Richmond. He fouled him with his first foul of the game, and Richmond missed the free throw. And these were all during that initial 9-0 run. And then he quickly fouled him again. That was his second foul. Richmond made both free throws. UConn had an 11-6 lead before that 9-0 run. They fell behind 15-11, and with Diarra on the bench with 2 fouls before coming back in, St. John's outscored UConn 20-11. They've been in charge ever since.
And they are calling that a flagrant foul on Samson Johnson for a high elbow, and that's going to put Richmond on the line to shoot, Ejiofor on the line to shoot 2, and he rolls it in off the front rim. So UConn trailing now 39-26. I'll tell you what, Ejiofor slammed Johnson in the back with a right hand, and Sampson just spun. I think that's a missed call. 2 free throws by Ejiofor, though. 40-26 St. John's, 4:22 to go in the first half.
So more early foul trouble for Samson Johnson. He gets 4 points, all coming early in the game, but he gets 2 fouls, just 7 minutes. Same thing happened the first time these teams played.
UConn shooting 50% in this game, yet trailing by 14. And they look to inbound the ball, and they get it in the corner to Scott for 3, another one. And now they've got 7 for 14 from 3. St. John's by 17, 43-26. UConn's got to buckle down. Defense and offense. Take their time, crowd on their feet. They pump it down low to McNeely, and now a foul is called on Smith. And this is what St. John's does. They're a very handsy defensive team. And James Breeding, after calling a flagrant, whistles one quickly where there wasn't much going on down there. If I'm Davon Smith, I'm upset by that, because that wasn't much at all, and it puts McNeely on the line.
It's his first foul. McNeely's been kind of quiet after a good start to the game, got the first layup of the game.
And now he misses a free throw off the front rim. He barely got it there. He shot it 14 feet. And so St. John's has it under 4 minutes to go. They skip it right to Leo Torres for 3. No good, front rim. Rebounded by Caravan. I don't know if Rick Pitino loved that one much. Here's Caravan front court. Tries to drive inside. Puts it up. Wild shot. No foul. And rebounded by the Red Storm. And here they come. Front court right. And a drive inside, and a ball knocked out of bounds off the hands of Samson Johnson. Leotopoulos is playing more minutes than he's played all year all of a sudden. A freshman guard from Greece.
Johnson's still on the floor despite 2 fouls.
They get it down to R.J. Lewis, and they call a foul. Wait a minute, what do we have? Something on St. John's for stepping on the baseline, I believe. Not sure. I think he bounced the ball, Smith.
I thought I saw
outside the baseline.
I thought I saw his right foot right on the white line.
All right, so UConn ball. Diarra in the front court gives it up to Ball on the right sideline. Back out front to McNeely. Now Caravan on the left. It's Diarra on the left hash. Holds in right, tries to drive by his man. Leotopoulos backs away. Good defense by the Red Storm. They give it to McNeely. McNeely spins to his left. He puts it up, and he's fouled, and he'll get 2 free throws. McNeely's got to keep being aggressive. He's got to get to the line. He's got to slow the clock down and try to make up some ground here before halftime.
2 fouls on Leotopoulos.
And McNeely's really upset because he had a great opportunity to convert that layup, and he didn't make it happen. So McNeely on the line where he's only got 2 points. Missed his only free throw before that one. And he makes that one.
In the 5 games since he came back from injury, the first of those was against St. John's at Gamble. He'd been 26 of 29 coming in. He's now 1 for 2 today after making that one. But the fact that in 4 games he took 29 field goal or free throws shows that what he does, he gets inside and draws fouls.
You're going to have to do a lot more of it. He makes both. 43-28, 15-point lead, St. John's, 3 minutes to go. And they have it front court right. It's Lewis between the rings. Starts left with a left-hand dribble guarded by McNeely. Back to his right. McNeely stays with him. They fire it to Abin Ayo. Picks up his dribble, in trouble. Gives it up to Luis. Lewis, pull up mid-range, and no good. And a foul is called on St. John's.
St. John's foul.
And that slows things down, and UConn will go to the line here. Abin Ayo, I think, will be called for it. That's the 10th on St. John's, so double bonus time here for UConn. What it was? No, was it Ejiofor? It was Ejiofor's first. As he's been shoving and pushing Johnson all game long, and I think that was a bit of a makeup, to be honest. Sampson on the line.
He's made 7 straight.
He makes that one. 43-28. UConn's been here before, Wayne. Down 14 many times, 4 times this year.
It only happened one other time in Dan Hurley's coaching career at UConn. They were down 18 at Marquette 4 years ago and came back to win comfortably. Done it 4 times this year already. I was thinking when they were down 14, maybe it would happen again, but it got more than 14 a few minutes ago.
Well, Sampson makes them both, and Rick Pitino wants a timeout with 2:41 to go. He's got to slow down this momentum. UConn's got a little bit of mo going, and the Huskies have got to try to climb back in this thing. They've given up 43 points in the first half. They trail by 13.
That 14-point comeback against Villanova on Tuesday night was not the biggest UConn comeback in history against Villanova. It was this week, February 20th, 2012, down at Villanova, that UConn won 73-70 on a Shabazz Napier 29-footer with 0.6 of a second left in overtime. Jeremy Lamb had a career-high 32 points, but he missed a free throw with 10 seconds left in overtime. Villanova went coast to coast for a layup to tie it as Napier just brought the ball down the court, got over the midcourt line and launched, broke the tie, and UConn won it. They were down 18 in the first half of that game, which was coached by George Blaney. Jim Calhoun sat that game out after back surgery. Lamb's 32. He was the only Husky in double figures in that game. UConn won.
And this afternoon, St. John's has been a little out of character in what they've been doing. From three-point range on the season, they're 11th in the league, 29%. And here this afternoon, they're 7 of 15, close to 50%. They're also 10 of 11 from the free throw line, where on the season they were 68% coming in.
Now they have had a couple of games with high three-point make numbers, including 13 and 14 a few times.
All right, Lewis has it. Now to Ejiofor, top of the arc. Guarded by Johnson. He looks to hand it off. He does to Davon Smith. He's guarded by Stewart. Can't get the shot off. Fires it left to Abin Ayo and gets it back on the right wing. Now he puts it on the floor. Smith to the basket. Puts it up over Caravan. Missed the shot. It goes in on a tip. Oh, man, what a lucky play by the Red Storm. Abin Ayo just batted it in the air and it went in. And UConn down by 15. Here's Caravan outside the arc to McNeely. Drives inside. Trying to get a shot off. Back out front to Ball for 3. No, short. Rebounded by Lewis. On a breakout for a fast break, and Ball hustling, diving, and almost saved it, but not quite. It's going to be St. John's ball. So Solo continues. All 5 of his shots have been from three-point range, made only 1 of them. Huskies 1 of 8 from 3. And St. John's will inbound the ball with under 2 minutes to go, leading 45-30 here in the first half. UConn out shooting the Red Storm from 2-point range, but not from 3, as the Red Storm's got 7 here this afternoon. They give it in to Davon Smith. He's guarded by Ball. Davon Smith outside the arc, and he dribbles through traffic, and the ball comes loose, and it's saved by St. John's. Smith drives inside. He gives to Lewis for 3, and he makes it in the corner right in front of UConn. And the bench, 48-30. McNeely, front court. To our left. 1:20 left in the first half. Guarded by Lewis. Tries to beat him off the dribble, lost it. Gives to Caravan, gets it back. Now he rips underneath, he goes to the basket, and he deals it to Samson Johnson for a dunk. And UConn back within 16, 48-32. Nice feed by McNeely. And that's what you got to do. You got to try to go to the rim and create opportunities. Ejiofor has it top of the arc. It's guarded by Samson Johnson straight away. And looks to hand it off to Davon Smith. Ball with a switch. Smith drives it inside, and a foul is called on Ball. Wild shot by Smith. Davon Smith, who transferred from Utah State after transferring from Georgia Tech, after transferring from Mississippi State. Apparently still matriculating, I'm not sure. Part of the NIT semifinal team for Utah, not Utah State, pardon me. He'll go to the line here, both teams with 10 fouls, so double bonus. Yeah, Rick Pitino was saying the other day, Wayne, he's not recruiting high school players anymore. He just won't do it. He's going to recruit guys like Davon Smith.
Well, you look at how that compares to UConn. You've got a guy like Liam McNeely, who's been an outstanding high school player last year, freshman this year. You've got a guy like Steph Castle last year, who's just been lights out in the NBA lately with San Antonio, but you know, just a different philosophy. Coach Hurley doesn't mind. He's got a great recruiting class coming in for next year. He's gone to the high school ranks, and it's paid off.
But I think what Pitino's point was is it's very difficult to recruit freshmen as Smith makes the free throw. And St. John's has 50 points with 48 seconds left in the first half. Caravan against pressure, looks to get it in. He does to Diarra. And Diarra walks it across the timeline, guarded by Abin Ayo. What he was saying is you can't play young guys against the 24-year-olds that are in college basketball. Here's Diarra on a kick out to Caravan. Dribble penetration, Alex puts it up and no good. Rebound out to McNeely for three. McNeely no good. Rebound Diarra out on top of the key. And Diarra holds. Looks back door, goes to McNeely down low. McNeely spins on his man, puts it up, missed it. Loose ball into the paint, airballs it. McNeely can't come up with it, and it's UConn ball with 4 seconds to shoot. How often do you see two air balls in one sequence?
Well, this is going to be a fifth chance opportunity for UConn. They've missed 4 shots, gotten 3 offensive rebounds. This last one a team rebound, as Abin Ayo dove out of bounds, but he had possession when he was on the baseline.
8.8 left in the first half. UConn trailing 50-32. And maybe, just maybe, the Huskies are a little bit fatigued here. They're shooting down to 41% and a half, 12 for 29.
They missed 6 of the last 7.
All right, Diarra looking inbound, and what's he going to do? He can't find anybody. Gets to the Caravan. Caravan on the baseline. Try to put a shot up. It's no good. Rebounded by Diarra, and Diarra is the ball knocked out of bounds again. No whistle.
This will be the rare 6th chance opportunity, but only 1.8 showing on the clock.
Alex Caravan, 2 points in the first half. UConn's got to get more there. And inbound the ball on the baseline left. And looking to get it in is Diarra, and he does spin it into McNeely. At the baseline, he fires a jumper, no good. 50-32, a huge first half by the Red Storm. As UConn ends up 1 for 10 from 3, and they're in a big hole as we go to the halftime break. Stay with us. KeyBank Halftime Report with Paul Roper is next, presented by Brown Panderas and Scott. This is UConn Basketball from Learfield.
Connecticut Business Systems, a Xerox company, is a proud sponsor of the UConn Huskies. We're Connecticut's largest provider of leading Xerox office technology, workflow automation, managed print services, software solutions, and audiovisual technology. We operate locally to offer you superior service and support, combined with the most advanced technology available in the industry. Our sales professionals make it their business to understand yours. So please contact us today for a free office technology assessment. Visit us at cbs-gisx.com or call toll-free at 1-800-842-0009.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a first alert is everything.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Laz Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Laz Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time, every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Laz Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
"20 minutes are in the books. This is the KeyBank Halftime Report. KeyBank is the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball. Coming up, we'll recap the first half and check scores from across the country. Now, let's go to the Learfield Network studios.
Boy, tough sledding for the Huskies in the first half of the Big Apple. St. John's with 8 3-pointers to UConn's one for the first time this year. The Huskies have given up 50 points in an opening half. It is 50-32. St. John's over UConn at the break at MSG. Paul Roper with you in the Learfield Network studios. KeyBank Halftime Report begins with a look at UConn athletics. Husky baseball team still looking for their first win of the season down in Boca Raton. They try to avoid the sweep against FAU. They combined for 42 runs yesterday. Owls winning 25-17. Well, today it appears they've used up all those runs because there's no score in the top of the fifth inning. UConn with a runner at first and one out. UConn softball making George at the MUSB Invitational. Huskies fell to 7-5 on the season after a 10-8 setback against Alabama State this morning. Currently with a 2-0 lead against host Mercer in the top of the fourth inning. Number 5 women's basketball team wins their 5th in a row, an impressive 86-47 win over Butler at Hinkle Fieldhouse yesterday. Paige Beckers records her second double-double in 3 games, 23 points, 10 assists against the Dogs. Women's ice hockey closes out the regular season with a sweep of Boston University and their second straight Hockey East regular season title, a 3-1 victory over the Terriers in Beantown yesterday. They'll begin play in the Hockey East quarterfinals Saturday at 4 p.m. And 22nd-ranked UConn lacrosse explodes with a 19-2 demolition of Manhattan yesterday. They're now 3-1. Meanwhile, at MSG, it's St. John's 50, UConn 32. We'll run through a light day around college basketball after the break, presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield.
Hey, Husky fans, basketball season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UConn basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the UConn Huskies. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Halftime at MSG, St. John's with a 50-32 lead over UConn. KeyBank halftime report continues with a look at the action around the Big East and top 25. Two more games coming up in the Big East today at 2 o'clock. Xavier makes the trek to Newark to face Seton Hall. And UConn's next opponent, Georgetown, will try to get back to 500 in Big East play, but face a tough test in Omaha against Creighton at 4 p.m. However, the Jays certainly remember what happened in D.C. 2 months ago. The Hoyas cruised to a 24-point win of the nation's capital in their previous meeting. Also, 2 games coming up from the top 25. 13th-ranked Purdue renews the rivalry with Indiana at 1:30, and number 22 Memphis hosts FAU at 2 p.m. At the break in Madison Square Garden, it's St. John's 50, UConn 32. The Mayor is back with halftime stats after the break, presented by Brown, Panderos, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball from Learfield.
When severe weather rolls in, every second counts. That's why you trust the largest team of local weather experts and First Alert Live Radar.
Heavy rain moving toward the Hartford area.
Connecticut's only live radar tracks storms border to border and right down to your street, giving you the first alert anytime, anywhere.
We're expecting thunderstorms to develop.
First Alert Live Radar from Channel 3. Because when seconds count, having a first alert is everything.
At KeyBank, we know a small moment like,
whoa, my kid's got a serious backhand,
can lead to an even bigger question like,
tennis campus how much?
And that's the type of moment where we'll meet you to help you build a savings plan for expenses big and small so your money can make money. Mike, how's that sound?
Sounds like match point.
Sounds like love.
We could serve up tennis puns all day.
For every financial need, we'll meet you in the moment. KeyBank opens doors. KeyBank member FDIC.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports. And we've got you covered on SiriusXM College Sports Radio. There's complete coverage of every major conference, plus live games and 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now and see offer details at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 25.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids dealing with unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness or disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Help us get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org. Team Impact. All in, all together.
St. John's outscores UConn 31-12 in the last 10 minutes of the first half on the way to a 50-point first half. It's been a long time since UConn allowed 50 points and a half. The last 2 national championship teams didn't allow 50 points and a half. The last team to score 50 or more points and a half against UConn was Creighton late in the 2021-2022 season, the year before the first of the 2 back-to-back national championships. Had a 51-point second half. Well, St. John's has come close to that here in the first half. UConn led in scoring by Terrace Reed, who had 9 points off the bench, 4 of 6 shooting, and he also had 3 rebounds, all at the offensive end. Samson Johnson 8. So the bigs have scored 17 of UConn's 32 points. Johnson was 3 for 3 from the floor, but he also picked up 2 fouls in the first half. Solo Ball shot 1 of 6, 1 of 5 from 3. He's got 5 points. Hassan Diarra, his second foul was a critical turning point in this game. It came during the 9-0 run that gave St. John's its first lead at 15-11. He scored 4 points with those 2 fouls. Alex Caravan, 1 for 5 shooting, 0 for 1 from 3. Only 2 points in the first half. And Liam McNeely has been so good in the 4 games since he came back. Liam 1 for 7 shooting, 0 for 4 from 3. He's got 4 points for the Huskies. Off the bench, Ahmad Noel did not score, but he had 2 assists. Jalen Stewart just played 7 minutes, did not score. Aiden Mahaney played just 4 minutes, didn't score. And Jaden Ross just played a couple of seconds and did not score for UConn. While for St. John's, they were led by Davon Smith. He had 10 points, was 2 for 3 from 3. Their leading scorer in the season, R.J. Lewis, was 3 for 5 from 3. 0 for 5 from 2-point range. He had 9 points. Aaron Scott had 9 points, making a pair of 3-pointers. Kadari Richmond got 7 points on 2 of 6 shooting, and Zubi Ejiofor had 8 points and 3 rebounds for St. John's. Off the bench, they got 4 points by Sadiko Ibeen Ayo. They got 3 points by Lefteris Leopoulos on a 3-pointer, and they had 3 other players, Wilcher, Iwachuku, and Prey, who did not score. St. John shot 45% in the first half, 15 of 33, 8 of 16 from 3-point range. They were better from 3 than they were from 2, while UConn was 1 of 10 from 3, 12 of 31, 39% from the floor, 7 of 10 for the line for UConn. St. John's was 12 for 13. St. John's wins the rebounding in the first half, 20-18. They got 9 offensive rebounds, good for 14 second chance points. That's where they did their damage. And UConn got 9 offensive rebounds, good for 7 second chance points. Huskies had 9 turnovers, good for 12 St. John's points. St. John's had 6 turnovers, good for 8 UConn points. Points in the paint, 22-12 UConn. Each team had 2 fast break points. And bench scoring, UConn got 9, all by Terrace Reed, and St. John's had 7. So the Huskies got some work to do as they find themselves down at halftime, 50-32 to St. John's at Madison Square Garden. You're listening to UConn Men's Basketball on Learfield, presented by Brown, Panderas, and Scott.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Is your retirement game plan a well-executed play or a Hail Mary pass? Hi, I'm Jake Dozer, certified financial planner. At Johnson Brunetti, we've helped over 5,000 families prepare for and live in retirement. And now we're proud to be the official wealth management sponsor of the UConn Huskies. Visit us at johnsonbrunetti.com and get free financial planning books and resources. Johnson Brunetti, Retirement and Investment Specialists.
Johnson Brunetti is a marketing name for the businesses of JB Capital and JN Financial. Investment advisory services offered through JB Capital, LLC. Insurance products offered through JN Financial, LLC.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Connecticut. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the University of Connecticut and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the University of Connecticut.
Second half from the Garden just about to begin. UConn trails 50-32. They've been here before, down big. 14 points 4 different times. They've been able to come back. The St. John's playing at a high level. UConn, not so much. So they've got a long way to go and a lot of regrouping to do if they want to get back in this thing. They given up 50 points. That hasn't happened this year and a half by UConn defense, but they allowed that. And they gave up 8 threes, 8 for 16 to a team that does not average about 4 or so a game. So UConn has got to do better defensively on the perimeter, no doubt about it.
These slow starts have just been devastating. UConn has trailed at halftime 5 straight games, 6 of the last 7. They were down 20 to Dayton in Maui. That was the biggest deficit they've had this year. Today's game at halftime is the second biggest deficit, down 18. As the 50 points, the most they've given up in a half in 3 years since 2021, 2022. So a lot of things went wrong, but combination of the points off turnovers by St. John's, the combination of poor three-point shooting and three-point defense. Mike just identified the 8 for 16, but the Huskies, when they make threes, they're a pretty good team. They remind me of the Celtics. The Celtics can be really good when they make their threes. When they don't, they're pretty beatable. And right now, UConn 1 of 10, pretty beatable.
The Huskies getting virtually nothing offensively from Alex Caravan and Liam McNeely. Between the two of them, they're 2 of 12 in the ball game. Solo ball, 1 for 5. So their 3 best scorers have 3 baskets between them. That is not a recipe for success. 3 baskets and 18 shots by their 3 best scorers as we get ready for the second half. But the Red Storms had this kind of season. They have 23 wins coming in, 14-2 in conference, and this would put them in the driver's seat. I don't think it clinches the Big East regular season for them, but it's very close because I think they'd only have 3 games left, and we got to check the standings exactly, but a 3-game lead. So at any rate, they're going to try to put an end to UConn's hold as the Big East regular season champs. The 2-time defending national champs have to play this thing for pride now. They got to find a way to climb back in it and make it uncomfortable for St. John's.
And remember, St. John's has been a great second-half team. Their first half, pretty good today.
50-32. UConn in their road blue. UConn across their chest. They go back to a lineup with Terrace Reed Jr. instead of Samson Johnson starting as they will inbound the ball right down below us. We're way up there in the hockey press box, which is 10 floors up at the Garden, as high as I've ever been in this building. Tough spot to see what's going on, but the Huskies have got to find a way floor level to get back in this thing. Solo ball will handle the start, and he's guarded by Kadari Richmond. He gives to McNeely on the right wing. McNeely out front to Reed. Reed skips it left to Ball at the hash. UConn being overplayed by St. John's defense all over the court. Here's McNeely in the left wing. Gets it down low to Reed, and Lewis steals it from him. You got to go get the ball if you're a big man. Here comes St. John's. They give to Lewis. Skips it over to Davon Smith. High post handoff to Kadari Richmond with a jab step. Trying to post up Diarra. He missed the shot. Rebound McNeely, about a 10-footer fading away. McNeely to front court right. Starts to his left, bumped by Richmond. Gives to Diarra. Diarra drives in on Lewis. Puts up a shot. Tough shot, no good. And rebounded by Smith. And he shoves Ball to the ground, and he attacks the basket, and he gives to Richmond for a layup. That's just want to. Solo Ball can't let that happen. 52-32. Here's Diarra, front court right. Spins to his right, guarded by Davon Smith. Diarra directing traffic. Lost the ball, and it's stolen by Smith. He was giving directions. Here comes Smith. He deals to Scott, and Scott lays it in on a fast break. So UConn not good start. The second half, 54-32. Timeout call by Dan Hurley. He's pretty upset. He is really upset at Hassan Diarra. And so the Huskies have fallen down by 22 in this one. 2 buckets right away by St. John's. Aiden Mahaney drives a Monaco Ford. You can too. Visit MonacoFord.com or visit Monaco Ford in Glastonbury and Nyack for current offers. Monaco, serving the Connecticut River Valley for 102 years. You're listening to UConn Men's Basketball in Learfield. It's presented by Brown, Penderis, and Scott.
Are you traveling out of Bradley Airport and need a safe, reliable place to park your car? Trust your vehicle to Last Fly Off-Airport Parking, located on Route 75 in Windsor Locks. They have both valet and self-park options to fit any budget. Last Fly is open 24 hours a day and will get you to the airport on time every time. Join their loyalty program to earn points for free parking, and be sure to ask about their corporate discounts. Save 20% by pre-booking online at lazfly.com. Last Fly is the official parking company and a proud supporter of UConn Athletics.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync My Game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
The Huskies live here. You're listening to play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball. Presented by Key Bank.
54-32 St. John's. Second half just underway. How'd you like to be able to listen to us while synced up to your TV in the comfort of your own home? All you got to do is go to syncmygame.com, syncmygame.com to find out how. And not a good start for the Huskies in the second half as they let St. John's turn them over and score twice. And Dan Hurley had to call a timeout a minute and a half into the second half.
Huskies have had 3 possessions in the second half, 1 shot missed, and also 1 turnover. They missed their last 6 shots of the first half, and so now they've missed 7 shots in a row after that 0-for-1 start to the second half. And I remember talking about this in the first game at Gamble this year, that at Gamble we sit courtside. Here we're up on the roof of Madison Square Garden, but you can still see the contact. Mike referenced it a moment ago when Kadari Richmond bumped Diarra, and there was no call on that play. Every possession, they are committing plays that many other games are called fouls. St. John's doesn't get them called because they do it all the time.
Exactly. It goes back to the Knicks back in the 90s. You can get away with it. They dump it down low to Reed, and Reed tried to put a shot up, and he's fouled. And that's what I think you've got to do. You've got to try to pound it down low, maybe get St. John's in some foul trouble, stop the clock, make free throws, and get some stops just to get back in this thing.
Well, here's foul trouble. That's Kadari Richmond's 3rd foul of the game. He's the guy that got Hassan Diarra in foul trouble in the first half when St. John's took control.
All right, so it'll be Reed on the line. Terrace had a nice little run in the first half. He scored 7 straight points. Free throw good. And UConn now 8 of 11 from the line.
Good to see him getting his touchback from the line. He'd been 11 of 26 after making 15 of 16. Quite a swing. But in this game, he's gone 2 for 2 and has got 1 more here.
Richmond's got to come out. Richmond with 9 points, 3 assists, couple rebounds. And Reed misses. And a rebound fought for. And who's got it? Oh, it's St. John's Lewis able to come up with it off a scrap. So the Huskies not winning enough 50-50 balls. Here's Davon Smith, and the ball stripped off his leg out of bounds. It'll be UConn basketball. They're going to have a little help from St. John's to get back in this game. Let's face it.
Including missing some of those open threes.
Here's Ball to the basket. He puts up a typical little shot along the baseline and hits from 5 feet away. And now a steal off the inbound by DR, but he couldn't convert. And now the outlet to Davon Smith out front to Ejiofor. And he gives it up as they work the perimeter. to Simeon Wilcher, and the ball comes loose. Diarra on a run out, gives on the bounce the ball. Ball tried to reverse it, he missed it. They give it to Diarra, and Caravan lays it in. Nice feed by Diarra, and now Rick Pitino calls the timeout. 54-37, and he's not happy.
That layup attempt by Lewis was blocked by Hassan Diarra. Diarra coming off a career-high 3-block game against Villanova on Tuesday. He's got another one here.
That last sequence, Solo Ball was running on the fast break on the right wing, had a chance to lay it up. Instead, he went to a reverse. You have got to draw contact. Don't finesse those shots. UConn's got to get on the line here and stop this clock over and over and over again to have any chance in this game. 2.5 minutes in, we've had 2 timeouts called by coaches.
Yeah, Rick Pitino called this one after UConn had run off 5 straight points.
So Reed, McNeely, Ball, Caravan, Diarra for the Huskies. And right now Richmond's on the bench for St. John's. As the Red Storm's going to inbound, and UConn's going to apply some full court pressure. Let's see what happens. It'll be Davon Smith. And he gets it in to Aaron Scott. And now back to Smith. He'll walk it up the court, right to left. Guarded by Diarra. He hands it over left to Aaron Scott. Scott back out front to Ejiofor. He's got Reed on him. Puts it on the floor. Hands to Smith. Diarra tried to guard him. Smith hits a jumper from 15 away. So Davon Smith has been tough here this afternoon. He's got 12. That was a big bucket for St. John's. They're back up by 19. He's 4 for 7. He and Aaron Scott are 8 for 15. Here's Diarra driving left wing. Backs away, gets to Reed out front. Now it's the handoff to McNeely. McNeely backs away. Looks for Caravan on the left wing. Caravan has it. Puts it on the floor. Cut off on the dribble. Gives to McNeely, who goes all the way to the basket. Floats it up. No good. Rebound Reed. Reed puts it in. They stop the play, and they say it's a foul on the rebound. As Reed laid it in, and now if the Knicks were playing here this afternoon, that would have been an and one. Reed did a nice job of getting that rebound.
Knicks are playing up in Boston right now, as a matter of fact. Aaron Scott picks up the foul, his first.
56-37, 16 and a half to go. St. John's on top. And Diarra out front to Caravan. Caravan hits a 3 on the left wing. Foul line extended. 56-40. Here's Smith into the front courts. Running, sprinting. Now he backs away at the right hash. Guarded by Diarra. Out near the timeline. Diarra all over him. Smith runs time off the clock. Out front to Ejiofor. Ejiofor with a handoff to Lewis. Lewis stop and go. Stripped. Diarra has it. Diarra on a run out. Deals to Ball for 3. And Ball short. Rebound McNeely. No foul called. And St. John's comes up with the ball, and it's deflected out of bounds by McNeely. Good hustle as he knocked it off of Aaron Scott. And UConn, at least they're scrapping here. Right now they've turned them over. And now we get the under 16-minute timeout with UConn trailing by 16, 56-40.
McNeely turned it over and then was able to do a nice job batting the ball off St. John's out of bounds.
And that's what you've got to do. You've got to fight every possession. When you're down like this, the unexpected happens every day. I'm talking about Kohl's. When it does, head to Kohl's. Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where family come first. You're listening to UConn Men's Hoop on Learfield. 56-40 St. John's, 15:58 to go. It's presented by Brown Penderis & Scott.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
From the Berkshires to the Long Island Sound, this is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
You say you never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, know it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tomorrow night, 2 UConn coaches shows on the radio. Adam Giardino hosting the men's hockey show from Bears Barbecue at 6. And then it's Bob Joyce and Gino Oriema from Cafe Ora, 7 p.m., talking UConn women's hoop. It's all tomorrow night on the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and thevarsitynetwork.com.
Huskies got off to a really good start in the first half. They scored the first 6 points of the game, made 5 of the first 6 shots from the floor. And here, they've outscored St. John's in the second half 8-6. Alex Caravan finally finding the range from threes, 1 of 8 overall. 3 for 7 overall, and 1 for 2 now from three-point range. It's McNeely who's 1 of 8 and 0 for 4 from three-point range. Husky bigs have done a lot of scoring in this game. Reed's got 10. Johnson's got 8. Another big for UConn. Donovan Klingen, the last 2 national champs, 21 years old today.
Full court pressure. They get it into Caravan. Now Reed hands to Diarra, turns and fires a 3. Front rim no good. Long rebound comes off to Aaron Scott. He had a good look. UConn troubles continue from distance, 2 of 13. St. John's front court left, front of their own bench. On the right sideline, Aaron Scott, pick and roll to edge of 4. They give it up to Scott, and the shot is blocked. Now they work it off the missed shot. It comes loose in the hands of Simeon Wilshire. Wilshire guarded by Diarra. Now he's down to 6. He's down to 5. Does he know it? Lewis fires to Scott, puts it on the floor. Jumper in and out. And a rebound loose. Lewis blocked by Caravan, and he fouled him. Like UConn had the ball in their hands. Caravan himself today has mishandled at least 3 or 4 balls. And so Lewis goes to the line instead to shoot 2. They should have come up with that one. UConn a half a step slow here. And that is a big turn of events, because R.J. Lewis on the free throw line, excellent scorer, and he misses the free throw.
And that was after good initial defense by the Huskies.
Yeah, they can't afford to make mistakes now. This is, things have gotten out of hand. They got a long way to come back. And as I said, they're going to need some help from St. John's. Lewis makes the second one. 1 of 2, 57-40.
Lewis playing with a groin injury, missed the last game.
Caravan gets it into McNeely. He's guarded by Davon Smith. McNeely up the right sideline being bumped by Smith. He puts his chest into him 1, 2, 3 times. McNeely puts a shot up and he's fouled. And that's what you've got to do. You've got to be aggressive with a guy like Davon Smith. You've got to force the contact on him. Make him play defense. And that time, McNeely did a great job. He drove him right into the basket, and Smith fouled him.
2 fouls on Davon Smith.
I like that move by McNeely.
Or should I say 2 fouls called on Davon Smith. He's probably had 10 he had called.
McNeely's free throw's good. Stephon Marbury, former NBA star with the Nets and the Knicks, and of course Georgia Tech. He's in the building today. So is Spike Lee and a lot of other luminaries. St. John's getting the college basketball flame burning again. 2 free throws by McNeely, 57-42. St. John's, 5 minutes gone by in the second half.
Very quiet 6 points for McNeely.
Davon Smith on the left sideline gives it up to Aaron Scott to go into a weave. Wilshire has it between the rings. Fires on the right wing to Lewis. Jabs with his right foot into the paint. Gives it up. 3-pointer by Aaron Scott. No good. And a rebound McNeely. McNeely at front court right. Pulls up. Going to throw up a 3. No good. And a rebound Smith. Smith sprints to the front court. He gives it up to Scott. Lewis throws it up for three, and he missed it. And the long rebound, Caravan. Outlet to Ball. Ball in the open court right, front court. Starts left, gives back to Caravan, gets it back. NBA three for Ball. Bang, he got it. 57-45, 12-point game.
And that's a good way to do it. Score in transition before the St. John's defense gets set.
All right, Davon Smith to the front court, out front to Ejiofor. He attacks Reed. He puts it up and in. What a drive by Ejiofor. That's a big bucket. As Reed got beat by a half a step and a great finish by Ejiofor. And he now has 10. They got 4 men in double figures. UConn front court right. It's Caravan out front. Left wing McNeely. Now it's Diarra on the foul line, extended left. Up the high screen from Harris. They've got Reed open. They don't get it to him. Caravan for three. Caravan hits another one. 59-48, 11-point game. 13 and a half to go. St. John's on top. Here is Scott. UConn crowd coming alive a little bit. On the left wing, Smith at the hash. Starts right. Had a pick and roll. Didn't get it to his man. Now Wiltshire in the far corner to Lewis. Lewis, crossover, jump shot. Good. Baseline over McNeely. That's a big one.
Same kind of shot he made to pretty much put the game away at Gamble back on February 7th.
He's got a dozen. 61-48, 7 minutes gone by in the second half. Here's Diarra to the basket. He puts it up. It's rebounded up and in by Reed. Off the miss by Diarra. And now St. John's, who was trying to inbound the ball, it ends up in the court. But James Breeding said, I didn't administer it to him properly, and he gives it back to St. John's. So they catch a break right there. Aaron Scott trying to inbound. 61-50, and Richmond has come back in here. Jalen Stewart's going to return, and he's going to come in for Ball for a moment. Ball leaves with 10. UConn's got 3 in double figures. And Jalen Stewart will pressure the inbound. They get into the Richmond. They double him. Wiltshire ahead to Ejiofor. Ahead to Richmond. Richmond to the front court. He attacks McNeely. McNeely strips him, but a foul is called. I don't know if that's a shooting foul or not. Oh, they're going to give him 2 free throws. No way. That's not a good one. He had not headed up. No.
I agree with you, Mike. I agree.
McNeely has an argument there.
Drove right down the center of the lane and had really not started a shooting motion yet.
I don't know. In an NBA game, you see a lot of those called and free throws shot. Not in college so much. Richmond with the line drive, in and out. Samson Johnson in for Terrace Reed. This is a surprise. Reed's been playing well here.
5 for 7 shooting, exactly what his shooting stats were in the full game against St. John's the first time around.
Reed has 2 fouls. I'm not sure why he's coming out. And Richmond makes the second one. 62-50, St. John's. 12:49 to go. Huskies trying to get it in. They get it into Diarra. Diarra in the backcourt being guarded by Wiltshire. Drives across the timeline. Wiltshire almost stole it from him. Reaching in. Now Diarra blows by him. Kicks to Caravan in the corner for 3, and he hit another one. So Alex Caravan coming alive. He's got 3 threes. UConn within 9. Here's Richmond. Front court left, guarded by Diarra. Back on the right wing, and a timeout's been called. And Rick Pitino doesn't like what he's seeing right now.
Well, this is as close as UConn has been since 35-26 with 5 minutes to go in the first half.
Long way to go in this one. 12:25 left. UConn has cut the lead to single digits. That's always the magic number. Get it to single digits and see what happens. St. John's has led from midway through the first half, led big at halftime. UConn Basketball presented in part by JT Gamo, the suit store, your destination for sharp, custom-tailored suits that makes a statement. Dress your best with JT Gamo. 62-53 St. John's, 12:25 left. You're listening to UConn Men's Hoop on Learfield from Madison Square Garden, presented by Brown Paint Darris & Scott.
Hey, Husky fans! Basketball season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the courtside celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to UConn basketball games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the UConn Huskies. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Planning a move? Let Lippincott Van Lines, the official mover of the UConn Huskies, take the worry and stress out of your relocation. Whether you're moving across the country, across the world, or just across the street, Lippincott Van Lines will handle your packing, moving, and storage needs with the care and quality they deserve. If the UConn Huskies football team can trust Lippincott to get their gear to the field on time, you can trust them to get your items where they need to be. Call Lippincott Van Lines today for a free estimate at 800-245-8563.
Need a little home makeover to get through the last few weeks of winter? Kohl's is having a big sale so you can give your home a reset. Plus, Kohl's Rewards members save an extra 15% on so much to refresh your space, like stylish decor, cozy pillows, convenient storage, and so much more. So hurry to Kohl's to snag your savings before the secret's out. Select styles. Kohl's Rewards 15% off coupon valid through March 2nd. Must be a Kohl's Rewards member. Exclusions apply. Visit a store or Kohl's.com for details.
Play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball is presented all season long by KeyBank, the exclusive retail bank of UConn men's basketball.
UConn football fans, the 2025 football schedule is out. Huskies will host 6 games at Rentschler Field. Head coach Jim Moore and the Huskies coming off that 2024 year, where they finished with 9 victories, the most since 2007, and a victory in the Fenway Bowl. Become a UConn football season ticket holder by visiting UConnHuskies.com/football. Season tickets starting as low as $99. Be there for tailgating football and affordable family fun of UConn football at the Rent. Visit UConnHuskies.com/football to become a UConn football season ticket holder. Don't wait around. Do it today.
Huskies have outscored St. John's in the second half 21-12. Remember, they had all those opportunities in the final minute of the first half, too. Couldn't convert. And it's been Alex Karaban who's been leading the way. He's got 11 of his 13 points in the second half. He is 3 for 4 from three-point range for the game. All 3 of the made threes have come here in the second half. The last game when Alex Karaban made more than 3 threes in a game, or actually made 3 threes in a game, was at Georgetown 11 games ago when he shot 4 for 6 outside the arc. The last 7 games coming in, he'd been 4 for 35 from 3. He's got 3 in this game. Another key to UConn is taking care of the basketball of late. 2 of the first 3 possessions of the second half, they turned it over. They've only had 1 since that time. Taking care of the ball, they're able to get some baskets.
All right, inbounded by St. John's, front court left. Richmond's back in the game, playing with 3 fouls. He isolates on Karaban between the rings. He fires it right to Wilshire. Wilshire out front to Ejiofor, guarded by Johnson. Now on a handoff to Lewis, puts it on the floor. Johnson on a switch against him. Pull-up jumper by Lewis, in and out, and tipped up and rebounded by McNeely. Almost went in. McNeely to the front court, 6 boards for McNeely. Karaban out front with it, being hounded by Wilshire. Gives it up to Diarra on the left wing between the rings. Diarra, guarded by Luis. Gives it up on a bounce to Karaban, gets it back in the left wing. Diarra holds, they go down low to Karaban, he drops it. Oh man, how many times has that happened tonight, or today? Alex just mishandled another one.
It's his 5th turnover.
And he was open, too. Here's Richmond, guarded by Jalen Stewart, front court left. Gives it up to Aaron Scott. They go on a weave outside the arc. It's Wilshire, he starts left, guarded by Johnson, off a switch. They give it up to Aaron Scott on a bounce. Ejiofor with Johnson on him at the high post right. Back to Richmond. Richmond puts it on the floor, pulls up and hits a jumper from 12 feet away on the right elbow. Karaban a half step late to get there. Richmond converts, and he's got 12. 64-53, St. John's. 11 left. Here is McNeely out front to Johnson, front court right. And Johnson looks to hand it off. He's in some trouble. Hands it off to Karaban. Alex holds, picks up his dribble. Backdoor cut McNeely. McNeely puts it up. No foul. Oh, my goodness. The ball is loose. And St. John's comes up with it. Here's Richmond. Down low to Ejiofor, working on Caravan. They double him for the moment. Ejiofor in trouble, and now a foul call comes. Wow. I don't know what McNeely's got to do to get to the line. I tell you what.
They called Scott a block on that McNeely shot.
Yeah.
There was a lot of contact, though.
Yeah, there was. So Reed comes back in, and Ball's coming back in. 11-point lead for St. John's, 10:41 left. Diarra's going to limp off, and he's favoring that right leg right now. UConn's got to get something from solo ball. He's only 3 of 10. They look to inbound to get it to Ejiofor, guarded by Reed. Trying to post him up with the right shoulder, left of the lane. Gives it up to Richmond. Richmond line drive, jumper good from 8 feet away off the curl. Richmond has 14. He leads the way for the Red Storm. Here's solo ball in the front court. Fires it right to Caravan. Caravan off the left wing, gives to McNeely. McNeely guarded by Lewis. Back to Caravan, puts it on the floor to the basket, and Caravan is fouled. Somebody lost their shoe. Dan Hurley's got it right now. What's he going to do?
It's Aaron Scott.
He's going to give it to Aaron Scott. They're having a laugh. And Dan thought that was kind of dangerous, and I agree, because Caravan drove through the area, and Scott's shoe was right there.
He just put it on like a slipper. Didn't even tie it, because it never really came untied.
That was kind of funny.
Meanwhile, Ejiofor gets foul, number 2.
And Scott said thank you to the coach for picking that up for me. All right, Caravan, 80.5% free throw shooter. In his career, he's 8th all time at 83%. UConn. And the free throw goes in. Caravan, before this game, had gone 6 for his last 47 from 3. He's now 3 for 4 here this afternoon. 66-54, St. John's. He's wearing some tape, that athletic support tape on his right shoulder. He made both of them. And Caravan now is 15 to lead the way for the Huskies. 66-55. Here's Richmond, guarded by Stewart. Richmond tries to blow by Reed. He puts it up, he's blocked, and the rebound, Caravan. Good hustle by Reed. Caravan front court right quickly. Oh, long range 3. No good, back rim, and rebounded by Lewis. He out-jumped Jalen Stewart for it. Lewis tries to attack the rim, puts it up, he missed it, but it's stuffed home by Ejiofor, and a foul is called. And so UConn, trying to get back to single digits, gives up a fast break dunk off the miss by Caravan. And Ejiofor goes to the line. He's got 12. 14 for Richmond, 12 for Lewis, 12 for Ejiofor, 11 for Aaron Scott. And so it'll be Ejiofor on the line to shoot here. And at DePaul, recently, their last game, had 13 points, 9 rebounds. He's 3rd in the league in rebounding, and here today, he's got 5. Trying to convert a 3-point play.
St. John's out rebounding UConn 30-28. UConn had a plus 10 on the glass the first meeting.
Rebounded the miss. Well, McNeely gives it up to Diarra, who's back in the ballgame. He's guarded there by Aaron Scott. Diarra starts back to his left, being hounded, hand checked. They go down low to Reed. Reed spins in traffic. Try to put a shot up. It's loose. McNeely came up, but he missed it. Reed got it, and he put it up, and he missed it, but he got fouled. Oh, man. He was right at the rim, and UConn missed 2 point-blank shots. Yeah, Reed was down low. He got the angle on Ejiofor, and then tried to put up a wild shot. Not a good idea. And then McNeely missed, and then Reed missed.
Huskies are 5 for 19 on layups in this game.
That was a contested layup, but you got to make it. And he misses the free throw. 68-55. On the bench is Aaron Scott. He cut his lip. He's being attended to by the trainer there.
Foul was on Sadiku Ibn Ayo. It's his first foul.
All right, Reed again. 9.5 to go. Makes that one. And Terrace now has 13. He and Caravan leading the way with 15-13. Full court pressure by the Huskies. It's Richmond off the inbound. Richmond in the 6th year of college basketball. Drives to the basket at the key. Gives it up on a bounce to Ejiofor at the high post right. Ejiofor hands back to Richmond. The drive there by Lewis. Try to bank it up, and he is fouled by McNeely. One thing Lewis does well is he creates contact and gets shots off, and now he's at the line with 9:11 to go. He forced the contact on McNeely, and McNeely tried to rebound off that and fouled him.
That's foul number 3 on the UConn freshman from Texas.
So Lewis on the line, where he's got 12 points. He's 1 of 2 in this one. And he makes the first one.
75% shooter on the season.
And St. John's under 70% as a team. I thought there might have been a lane violation on St. John's, but they're just checking Aaron Scott to make sure he's not bleeding still.
Huskies got it with an 11, and in the last minute or so, they missed 4 straight shots.
Well, they were within 9 at one point, 62-53, but 2 free throws by Lewis lead back to 14, and Caravan gets it in the ball. Ball walks it up the court from left to right. Solo and a handoff to McNeely on the right wing. To Diarra, back to McNeely out near the timeline, straight away. McNeely starts to his right, puts it on the floor, goes behind his back. Lewis slips, they go back to Caravan. Triple penetration, Caravan all the way to the basket, lost it on the way up. And it's St. John's ball. Richmond attacking Diarra, and Diarra knocks it out of bounds. And it'll be St. John's ball with 8:40 to go. Kadari Richmond are really attacking the rim. They'll inbound the ball to our left on the baseline. Richmond looks to get it in. He does get it in to Richmond. Handoff from Scott back to Richmond. That's a old schoolyard play. They got it back to the inbounder, and he laid it in. So UConn got burned on that one, and they're back down by 16, 72-56. Here's McNeely driving right, spins in traffic, and he is fouled by Simeon Wiltshire. And McNeely goes to the line, and that's what you got to do. You got to stop the clock because it is not your friend right now. 72-56, St. John's leads.
Caravan's got 6 turnovers. His career high before this has been 3.
Well, R.J. Lewis has done a great job of overcoming what was a groin injury. It might have been a mild one, but he has played well. As McNeely on the line makes the first.
Wiltshire picked up the foul. It's his third.
72-57, St. John's, 8:20 to go. And McNeely makes them both. He's got 8. It's only 1 of 11 this afternoon, 0 for 5 from 3. Here comes Aaron Scott, front court left, and he hands off to Lewis. They go into a weave. It's Wiltshire on the left wing, picks up his dribble, goes down low to Richmond. He's guarded by DR, big advantage there. They fire it outside of Wiltshire. Wiltshire pull-up jumper and good. Solo ball overplayed, and Wiltshire just dribbled his way into the open shot. 74-58, St. John's 48%, 8 of 18 from 3. UConn 5 of 18. Here's Diarra, front court, hands to McNeely, fires it left to Ball. Ball to Diarra on the right wing. And a foul away from the ball against UConn. I don't know who it was. There's a St. John's player on the floor. It's Kadari Richmond.
They gave the foul to McNeely, and that's 4 on the freshman.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it was.
Looked like a moving screen.
No, it had to be on Reed. Reed was the man called for the foul. Dan's upset, and Tom Moore steps in between them. Timeout, 74-58. St. John's with the lead, 7:42 to go. UConn basketball, sponsored by UConn Health, the official healthcare provider of UConn Athletics. Make their doctors your doctors. 10-second pause for station ID. You're listening to UConn Men's Hoop on Learfield. Huskies down 16, 74-58, 7:42 to go on Learfield. Presented by Brown Panderas and Scott.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row.
Groundworks, the preferred foundation repair company of UConn Athletics.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Heard from Danbury to Norwich. This is the UConn Sports Network from Learfield.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Wednesday night, UConn men take on Georgetown in the XL Center finale. We kick off our coverage with the 6 p.m. pregame Wednesday night here along the UConn Sports Network, the Varsity Network app, and the VarsityNetwork.com. Mike Crispino, Wayne Norman, our engineer John Ashmead, way up in Madison Square Garden on this one. That last foul call was against Liam McNeely, which means it's his fourth. And so he's going to stay in the game. He's going to have to finish. 7:42 left. That is the sixth team foul on UConn, 6 on St. John's. So both teams in the bonus as the Huskies trail by 16 with under 8 minutes to go.
You got to keep him in the game at this point. 7:42 to go, and you're down by this. You need what he can bring you on the floor. Doesn't do any good on the bench.
Well, he's got to start making some shots. 1 for 11. St. John's front court left. R.J. Lewis, they go into a weave. They give it up to Simeon Wilshire. Lewis, stop and go, give up on the left side to Aaron Scott. Back to Wiltshire, and a foul is called away from the ball. And who's that one on? That's on somebody from St. John's. I believe it's on Aaron Scott. So James Breeding made that call.
Yeah, it's his second. It's 11 turnovers on the Red Storm. That's their season average.
UConn ball to the front court, right on a handoff to Diarra. Off the high screen of Samson Johnson, he curls right. Has the dribble, gives it up to Ball. Ball guarded by Richmond. Ball to his left, gives to Diarra. Diarra on the right wing, 10 to shoot. Backs away from his man, Scott. Blows by him, drives to the basket, got the shot blocked. St. John's comes up with it. Edge of 4. Good block that time by Aaron Scott. Here's Wilshire from the left corner for 3. Front rim no good. Rebounded by St. John's. Aaron Scott got it. They go down low to edge of 4. They give to Scott and he dunks. UConn, not a good look there as they allowed an offensive rebound and they're back down by 18. 6.5 to go. Here's Diarra, front court right on the right hash with it. Left-hand dribble, starts to his left, gives it up to Ball. Ball's 3 is good. He rattles it in. 76-61. They're going to need more of that. 6:15 to go. Ball now at 13. That's his third 3. He and Caravan have 3 threes each. Richmond gives it up to Wilshire. Tries to attack on the rim, and he's blocked by Johnson. And Caravan comes up with a loose ball. Ahead to Ball. Front court left. Ball. Cross court skip pass. Bad idea. You just don't do that. And McNeely was the intended receiver. Here's Wiltshire, a pull-up short range shot from the elbow as Solo Ball didn't get up on him. And St. John's back up by 17. 78-61. 5.5 left. Scott with 13. Richmond with 16. Caravan on the right wing, out front to Samson Johnson. Left wing, it comes to Diarra. Gives it up to Ball. Ball has the ball stripped out of his hands. Diarra picks it up. Diarra attacks. Nowhere to go on the right baseline. Looking to give it up. He does. Cross court to Caravan. Cut off by Richmond. Tries to put a shot up. He's blocked by Richmond. And what do we have? I believe a shot clock violation.
Yeah, he had to launch that shot. 2 seconds, 1 second too late. So that is another UConn turnover. 17 now, 22 the first time these teams played. And they took care of the ball when they got back in the game, cut it to 9, and now they've been sloppy again.
St. John's has a lot to do with that too, though. Their defense is intense. We talked about it. Their field goal defense first in the league, 40%. Their rebound margin +6.
These are the two
first.
These are the two shot blocking teams in the league, and St. John's has 11 blocks today.
And UConn's got 7. And here is the Red Storm in the front court left. Ejiofor on a handoff to Lewis. He almost lost it. 15 to shoot. Lewis pull up 20-footer over Reed. In and out. A rebound. Ejiofor lays it in. Oh, he out-muscled McNeely. That hurt. 80 to 61. UConn can't give that up. Timeout called by Diarra. UConn was right there within 9, but they have not made the big plays they've needed to get back within striking distance. St. John's with 4:36 to go with a 30-second timeout are ahead 80 to 61.
Caravan's 3, his third 3 of the second half, made it 62-53. With 12:36 to go, Rick Pitino called a timeout. St. John's came right back out and scored the next 4 points. Huskies been in trouble ever since. You're talking about the blocks in this game. 11 for St. John's, 7 for UConn. St. John's averages 5.5 blocks per game. That's number 2 in the Big East. UConn leads the nation in blocks per game. They were tied with Auburn before last night. In Auburn's win over Georgia, they had 5 blocks, so they're now at 6.5 a game. UConn came in averaging 6.6 to have that slim edge over Auburn in blocks, and the Huskies will up that a little bit with 7 blocks in this game. But the problem is, one reason UConn is shooting only 38% from the floor, the 11 blocks by St. John's, and UConn has also missed 6 of its last 7 shots at this point.
Richmond leads the way. Kadari Richmond, 16 points, 6 of 12. He's got 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 14 each for R.J. Lewis Jr., and 14 for Zuby Ejiofor. He's got 7 rebounds, 5 assists for Ejiofor, 13 for Aaron Scott. UConn led by the 15 of Alex Caravan, 13 each for Terrace Reed Jr. and Solo Ball.
I mentioned it was Donovan Klingen's 21st birthday. Started for Portland last night, 8 points, 5 rebounds in 16 minutes on the season, averaging 6.7 rebounds, but he's starting again now because of the injury to DeAndre Ayton. By the way, Donovan also shooting 30% from three-point range.
Here's Ball, gives up his dribble, gives to Terrace Reed, and he is fouled as Ejiofor reaches in. Not a good idea. That puts UConn on the line for 1-1, or maybe it is. Maybe that's what Pitino was looking for.
Well, there was clear contact there, and Ejiofor looked up like I didn't touch him because they do it all game long, and it's not called. Third foul on the center.
St. John's trying to sweep the Huskies after UConn swept them 3 times last year,
including the Big East tournament.
Our ball comes out. Ejiofor now with 3 fouls. They got 3 men with 3, but it's getting almost too late to matter.
Jalen Stewart just came off the UConn bench.
All right, Reed's front end is good. So Terrace Reed with 14. He's got 6 rebounds. He's got 4 fouls. See, I think they switched that foul from McNeely to Reed. I thought that
they did.
Foul on Reed should have been called.
They did because McNeely's back to 3.
All right, so Reed makes both free throws. It's the old referee in me. I shouldn't be doing that.
Well, you got the old part right.
80 to 63. St. John's with 4:26 to go. Said the man who is beyond ancient, Wayne Norman, my partner. Here's Kadari Richmond. And the front court left, it's the Red Storm in control. Here's a drive to the basket and a ball deflected loose. Who's it on? All 3 officials. No one knows what the deal is. And what are they going to do? Wait a minute. 3 officials. No one can make a call. And then finally they give it to St. John's.
Looked to me like it went off Wiltshire.
All right, so St. John's will inbound in front of their own bench. Well, the Red Storm having a season like they haven't had since 98-99, so
Which is
25 years ago.
Yeah, so your UConn won the national championship.
Yeah, St. John's had a great
with a great
run.
win here, by the way. They were down 12 at Madison Square Garden that 98-99 season.
Here's Davon Smith, and he gives it back to Edgefor. He won't shoot it. Spinning Wiltshire to the basket on Reid, who fouls him, and he lays it in left-handed. 82-63, the Red Storm. And that's the one thing that St. John's does have that UConn does not have. They got guys who can go to the basket, create contact, and create their own shots.
That's what UConn had the last couple of years, and one Tristan Newton. Castle could do it too.
And that means Reid is out. That's his fifth. He'll have to leave with 15.6 rebounds. That was just a half step slow defensively reacting by Terrace Reid. And he put himself in a tough spot, and he committed the foul.
Fourth time this year he's fouled out.
Wiltshire will go to the line. Simeon Wiltshire averaging 9 a game. He's got 6 in this one.
So Reid takes his 15 points, 5 of 8 shooting, 5 of 7 from the line to the bench. Also had 6 rebounds.
Well, Wiltshire, free throw in and out, rebounded by McNeely. McNeely's got 9 now. Front court drive by McNeely. He's fouled and he lays it in. So we'll get a 3-point play opportunity here. And the under 4-minute timeout. 3:58 to go. 82-65. St. John's with the lead here at Madison Square Garden. For comprehensive coverage of college basketball, tune in to SiriusXM College Sports Radio, channel 84 in the car or on the new SiriusXM app. SiriusXM, the home of your favorite team and conference, including live games plus interviews and analysis. So cheer along with the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. Get a free trial at SiriusXM.com, College Sports Radio 2025. You're listening to UConn men's basketball on Learfield, 82-65. The Red Storm leads here at the Garden. It's presented by Brown Paint Harrison Scott.
The passion, the tradition, the rivalries. SiriusXM is your destination for all things college sports. And we've got you covered on SiriusXM College Sports Radio. There's complete coverage of every major conference, plus live games and 24/7 talk and analysis. So cheer along on the SiriusXM app and listen to your favorite team anywhere. And now you can get 3 months of SiriusXM free. Subscribe now and see offer details at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 25.
Power Station Events is the official production partner of the UConn Huskies, the ultimate one-stop source featuring audio, video, lighting, staging, talented DJs and musicians, photography and videography, stunning decor and florals, and much more. As we celebrate our 40th anniversary, we want to thank UConn Nation as we look forward to the next 40 years. Visit us at powerstationevents.com and let us help you plan your next awesome event.
UConn fans, when it comes to sports injuries, do you know where the Huskies go?
UConn Health, Connecticut's public academic medical center. Our doctors advance research and train future generations of healthcare experts.
All while offering the latest in injury prevention, treatment, and performance improvement for athletes, for everyone.
When it comes to UConn athletics, our physicians are their physicians and should be your physicians too.
Make their doctors your doctors.
UConn Health. Learn more at health.uconn.edu.
The Huskies live here. You're listening to play-by-play coverage of UConn men's basketball, presented by Key Bank.
Stay with us after the game. The Hard Auto Group post-game show. We got game highlights, interviews, stats, scores, all coming your way courtesy of Hard Auto Group. Shop Hard Auto Group. We treat you like family or only a heartbeat away. HardCars.com. Huskies down 17, 82-65. After trailing big at halftime, 50-32. They played them just about even, actually outscored the Red Storm 33-32, but unable to overcome a rough first half.
22-point lead at one point for St. John's at 54-32. Biggest deficit UConn has seen all year long. Alex Caravan, the quiet first half, got off to a good start in the second half, made 3 threes. He's got 15 points, now at 1,235 career points. as he passed Stanley Robinson. Sticks on the UConn career scoring list. Alex now at number 37. Next up, Tate George.
All right, McNeely made the free throw, so three-point play gives him 11. St. John's inbound. They get it into Davon Smith. He's doubled for the moment and fires it over on the right side to Wiltshire. Wiltshire down low to Ejiofor, and he is blocked by Samson Johnson. And they say it went off of Ejiofor's head, not out of bounds. Wow, what a block by Sampson. Because Ejiofor was right at the rim. Wow, that was big time by Sampson.
His second block of the season. I think that second block of the game, 41st on the season.
They get it into McNeely. Drives it to his right. They say a double dribble by McNeely. Add that one up on your turnover chart, Wayne.
18, 4 of those on McNeely and 6 by Carabane.
Amazing. 10 turnovers by those two. Here's Smith. Tries to get it across the timeline. He does. He gives to Richmond. It's guarded by Jalen Stewart. Richmond into the paint. Kicks it left to Lewis. They go down low to Ejiofor, and he is fouled by Jalen Stewart. A lot of what St. John's does is them getting in position to do stuff and get angles, and that time, that's what Ejiofor did. He got an angle on Jalen Stewart. Stewart fouls him. Ejiofor goes to the line. Ball will come in for Jalen Stewart. 3.5 to go. Aaron Scott back in the game for St. John's. So Zuby Ejiofor, junior forward, transfer from Kansas, where he played 33 games last year, averaged 4 points, 3 rebounds. He's averaging 14.5 for Rick Pitino in this season, and he's got 15 here this afternoon.
Had 11 points, 5 rebounds against UConn at Gamble back on February 7th.
Ejiofor, another opportunity. And we may have some blood here on Aaron Scott, who had to be attended to earlier. Oh, some blood on the floor.
Well, we talked about the interior defense and the 11 blocks by St. John's. One reason why UConn is 6 of 21 on layups.
And they're 6 of 20 from 3 after going 1 of 10. So 5 of 10 in the second half after 1 of 10 in the first half. 17 of 22 from the line. UConn 18 of 23. And so is St. John's now. So they're dead even on the free throw line. Carabane looking to inbound the ball and gets it into McNeely. And McNeely's fouled by Aaron Scott. And that's going to put McNeely on the line. I believe that's the 9th team foul, but no, it's the 10th. So McNeely gets to shoot 2, stop the clock with 3:31 to go, but UConn down by 18.
McNeely been really good since coming back off the injured list 5 games ago, but 2 for 12 today, 0 for 5 from 3. Does have a team-high 9 rebounds, though.
So McNeely will shoot 2. UConn fell behind the second half of the first half after leading 20-19. They got outscored big in the next 10 minutes, 31-12.
Not quite the home court advantage UConn usually enjoys here. 19,812, announced sellout here at the Garden.
McNeely missed the second, 1 of 2 for him, 84-67. McNeely's got a dozen. UConn with full court pressure, almost steals it, and they do. I think it went off of Richmond's leg. No? Well, they give it to St. John's. So it'll be the Red Storm, front court left. You know, Rick Pitino was asked this week where his next job's going to be. Is he looking for a new job? He said, no. This is my last job. I'm a New York guy. He's 72 years old, and what he's done in 2 years here has been pretty good to get this team where they are, first place in the Big East. Picked 5th in the preseason. Here's Kadari Richmond, top of the key, puts it on the floor. He attacks Diarra, goes to his left hand, and he's fouled. And Diarra's upset. One thing about Richmond, he's got good size. He almost has to be guarded by a guy his size because He just gets himself at the right angle and forces contact, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
4 fouls on Hassan Diarra. He got 2 quick ones early in the game, right in the middle of a 9-0 St. John's run, which ended up really turning the tide towards St. John's. They controlled the game pretty much from that point on, although UConn did take one brief lead after that.
Yeah, the one thing is Richmond's first free throw is good. UConn really missed. You talked about Klingon. He's important right now in the NBA. His shot blocking prowess, not just blocking shots, but deterring shots, was a huge part of UConn's run to the national championship last year, and they don't have that.
Yeah, altering shots. And Adama Sanogo before that, the Final Four most outstanding player in 2023.
Yeah, and the Huskies still lead the country in shot blocks, but I just think that when teams drive it down toward the basket, they're not as fearful of getting their shot deterred. He makes 2 free throws, Richmond. He's got 16. Diarra front court, 86-67, 3 minutes to go. UConn trails. Here's Ball on the right wing and a handoff to Diarra. Diarra guarded by Smith, skips it over to Caravan. Caravan's doubled for the moment. He gets blocked, and a foul is called on Richmond, so that puts Caravan on the line. Shoot 2. Caravan's had a rough game handling the ball. 6 turnovers. That was nearly another one.
Huskies have won 8 straight games at Madison Square Garden, 10 straight in New York City, including the NCAAs in Brooklyn. About to come to an end.
Caravan makes the first one, 86-68. Three-point shooting by St. John's is hurt as Caravan makes them both. 42% shooting from 3 for St. John's. They're a 29% shooting team. As Stewart commits a foul on the inbound, and that puts St. John's on the line with under 3 minutes to go. So the Red Storm trying to sweep UConn, and very close to doing it, up by 17, and they have really quieted the crowd. Husky crowd got into it when UConn got within 9. It was back a few moments ago, 7.5 to go, but it's been all Red Storm since. Stewart returns. Dan Hurley has a few words for him. First free throw missed by Wilshire. Second one, good. So the Red Storm firmly in position to win the regular season now in the Big East Conference. 87-69. This will be UConn's 6th loss in the conference. McNeely, right wing 3, back rim no good. Rebounded by Smith. And Davon Smith to the front court left. Final 2.5 minutes of the game. And the St. John's crowd up on their feet, recognizing what the Red Storm has been able to do, the 2-time defending champs here this afternoon. R.J. Lewis out on the left wing. Near the timeline, starts his dribble, picked up by McNeely, crossover, beats McNeely, missed the reverse, but Ejiofor charges in and dunks. And UConn having to help on defense, that opened that up. Here's McNeely front court right. McNeely puts a shot up, and he gets fouled again. He'll go to the line, shoot 2. The UConn's down 20 here with 2 minutes to go in the ball game. And they're going to have to regroup in a big way. They got Georgetown coming up Wednesday. As McNeely now, despite the fact he's 2 for 13 and 0 for 6 from 3, on the line, makes the free throw.
Well, I talked about that 1998-99 game here at the Garden. As UConn down 12, Ricky Moore sparked the comeback in that game. But that game, Richard Hamilton and Jake Bosco both got hurt. They remained undefeated, and then their following game, 2 nights later in Hartford against Syracuse, without those 2 starters, they lost their first game of the year to Syracuse. They'd only lose once more the rest of the way, and they beat Duke for the championship.
Now, Jaden Ross comes in. He replaces McNeely. And McNeely finishes with 14 points. Full court pressure by the Huskies, and they do get it in to Davon Smith, the senior guard, playing his final few games for the Red Storm. Smith guarded by Ahmad Noel. Out front, gives it up to R.J. Lewis. He's got Stewart in front of him. They switch. Samson Johnson takes Lewis. Lewis, crossover. Pull up, 20-footer. Front rim, no good. Tipped, rebounded by Samson Johnson. Outlet to Ahmad Noel. Noel across the timeline at the left hash. Starts to his right. Guarded by Smith. Back to Ball. Ball turns and fires three. It's short. A lot of short shots today. Ahmad Noel tries for three. He's short. Ball gets the rebound into the paint, and he banks it up and in on a nice slicing move. 89-73. A minute to go. St. John's can enjoy this one. They've taken down the Huskies twice in one season. Avon Smith on the left hash. Right-hand dribble. Noel guards him. They deal it over to Wilshire. Wilshire guarded by Ross. Back out front it comes to Richmond. Puts it on the floor. Picked up by Johnson. Jump shot by Richmond. No good. Would have been nice to force him into more of those. That was about an 18-footer. Rebound. Ross quickly to the front court. Ross with a floater. And he drops it in. 89-75. St. John's final 29 seconds. Won't have to shoot it. And that's where it's going to end. The Red Storm at home. 17-0 in the season. 8-0 at Madison Square Garden. And UConn's streak of 8 straight wins here in this building comes to an end, as the Red Storm can celebrate this one. And Smith will dribble out the time, and he'll get a shot clock violation with 1.4 left. 89-75. R.J. Lewis celebrating with some of the fans on the sidelines. They get it into Ball. That's going to do it. Dan Hurley and Rick Pitino shake hands. Pitino would drop 4 of the last 5 to Dan, including one with Iona in the NCAA tournament 2 years ago. But the Red Storm take care of business 89-75 here this afternoon as they break out in the second half of the first half with a huge run, 31-12 to win it over UConn, 89-75. Hart Auto Group postgame show continues after this from Brown, Penderas, and Scott. This is UConn men's basketball on Learfield.
Hi, this is Nick Kaplanson from Dime Bank. To win a championship, it takes more than just good players and coaches. It takes a whole community dedicated to the same goal. The same is true when it comes to banking. A successful banking relationship is built from a community fully dedicated to meeting the banking needs of its customers. If you're ready to experience a better approach to banking, come join our community at Dime. It's your bank, your choice, your Dime.
Dime Bank. Community banking lives here. Member FDIC.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the